Hey, we're Marcus and Jess. This is our van, Biggie Small. This is Jeannie and that's Rory. We moved into our van full time in January this year, 2022, and we're going to try and do a van tour. Take two.
Yeah, we tried to do this about a year ago and it didn't go too well.
We're just super awkward, really.
Yeah, so apologies if we've missed anything. There's probably loads of stuff, but if you have any questions or want to know more about the van, then just give us a shout in the comments or find us on Instagram.
And if we seem a bit robotic, it's not intentional. We're just a bit awkward on camera.
Cool. Enjoy. This is our van, Biggie Small. It's an L4 H3 Peugeot Boxer. We purchased the van direct from Peugeot in 2020. We looked for a second-hand van, but we're really struggling to find the extra tall and the extra long vehicle. One benefit of ordering direct though is we did manage to get some additional specs added. So we did bulkhead delete, which takes the bulkhead out and gives you a nice trim up here. We also managed to do twin captain seats, and those are both heated. We did blind spot detection in the mirrors, which is really handy for driving on the motorway. And lastly, we had this over cab storage put in as well, which is really great for just sunglasses and drinks and bits like that. The worst part about the Boxer is definitely the lack of cup holders. So there's a small tray here that you can swap out, so we might do that in future. Otherwise, you just have to sort of prop things in the doors, and that's about it. Another really nice feature we had added to the cab was these Remus blinds. They don't give any thermal insulation, but they're really good for privacy, and they just fit inside the door, slide out. So we've got them on both the side doors and also in the cab. From the back of the cab, we've also got this curtain on a rail that can slide out of the way during the daytime. This is really good for blacking out the cab, but also it provides some thermal insulation. So if we just want a bit of privacy temporarily, we can just slide this across. And then obviously we've got an open cab and our passenger seat that's on a swivel to open up the front of the van. We've also got this really tall overhead storage on the H3 van, so we've got loads of storage above here. We tend to use it for spare bedding, dog towels, dog treats, bags, and the shopping bags, things that we just want to be able to get hold of quite quickly and easily, but it's also lightweight for storing up here. Just above our sliding door is where we keep all the control panels for everything that we use day to day in the van. In the bottom left, we've got the control panel for our Truma 60 combi boiler, so that does hot water and heating throughout the van. Just above it, we've got the BMW 712 from Victron Energy, which displays solar yields, battery percentages, how many amps we're using. Just above that, we've got a monitor for our water and our waste, so we can see how much water we've got in the tanks. And then we've got some manual switches to turn these on and off. We've also got a manual switch for a tank element, which has a heating element in our freshwater tank. That means that if the temperatures get really low over winter, we can stop the water tanks from freezing up. We've also got a switch to turn our water pump on, and also the fan for our toilet, which we'll show you in a moment. Lastly, we've got the gasket display on a solenoid for turning the gas on as well. So we've got LPG just for the cooker and hob in here. This here is the remote, which we can just pull off the wall here, and that's for our max air fan. So we've got one at the front of the cab, which is really useful for cooking and extracting moisture in winter, and then we've got another one over the bed at the back of the van. We've just had this cab light installed in the last week as well. This is from a company called Celtic Motorhomes. It's a really nice LED strip bar. It only uses about 8 watts when it's on full power, and it's dimmable. What we are finding is that in summer the van's really light and airy, but in winter the front of the cab was very dark. So this has been a great addition that we've had put in the last week.
So just behind the cab, we've got our shower and toilet area. So from having smaller vans, one thing that was important to us when planning the build was to have a separate room for the shower and the toilet, which is what we've got here. So we have our Nature's Head composting toilet, definitely one of the best things that we purchased for the van. We've been really happy with it so far. Then we've got the shower as well, and then we also have a skylight which we open, which is great for ventilation when we're having a shower. it also works really well, this room, as a wet room. When we put the heating on, because it's an enclosed space, it gets much hotter in here, sometimes about 10 degrees hotter than the rest of the van. So in winter, when we've been out in the rain or we've got wet dog towels and things, hanging everything in here and allowing it to all dry off just makes things just a lot easier for us. So the other benefit about having the high top van is the overcab storage space extends all the way across. So for this area, we use it as a space for keeping all our toiletries, extra towels, toilet paper, anything kind of along those lines that we need. We keep all of it in here, so it's a really useful space to have. So next up, we've got our kitchen. We've wanted quite a lot of worktop space, so we've got this extending section here which folds down. We also outside as well have another section that lifts up, which is really great if we're eating outside or if we're having drinks out there. It's just extra space to put things. The sink as well, we have an insert in the sink. We've got it in two separate parts. It just makes it more useful that if when preparing things or if you just need to pop things in the sink, it saves you taking all of it out, or particularly as well if you're just rinsing things. Having a big sink was really important to us. In our previous van, which was a T5, it was a really small sink. I like to do a lot of cooking in the van, so having a really small sink as well where you can't kind of wash up a pan or fit a lot in it is not really ideal, so we did want quite a big sink. The tap that we picked as well has some really useful features. So you can pull it out, which is quite good for rinsing things. It also has different options for the water as well, and then a stop button, so you can just start and stop it whenever you need to as well. So over here we've got our oven and hob. It's a Thetford triplex one. It's got a 3-ring burner, and then under here is the oven and grill. So in terms of storage in the kitchen, for food I use these top 3 cupboards here. This one we just have various different bits in there, packets and things. This is the one that we use for all our plates and cups, tea and coffee things. And then in this one it's just food that we've got. We've also got the spice rack here as well. The spice rack was something I really wanted to have in the kitchen, so I'm really pleased with that. Underneath the bottom here we've got these 2 really big drawers. They're good for the bigger items that you've got in your kitchen, pots and pans, bowls, other cooking things like that. We also have this section here which is under the sink storage, pretty much the same as what you'd have in the house, cleaning things, stuff like that. One of my favourite storage sections of the van is this under seat area. It's a really big space. It's where I keep all the heavier items of food, cartons of milk, tins, bottles, all those sorts of things. On the opposite side of our kitchen, we've got our fridge. It's a Dometic 80-litre fridge. It's a 12-volt compressor fridge. And then just above it, this is the drawer where we keep our knives and forks and utensils. Above the fridge, we've got this big wardrobe space. It can fit quite a lot in it. We've got this whole hanging section, and then we put a shelf in as well so we can separate some storage bits out, some mirrors as well, and yeah, that's it. This back part of the van is our main living area. We've got a single seat area there and a double seat area there. We've got our bookcase up here, and then behind here we have our pull-out table. And just behind me here, I've got this little hatch. It does just go straight into the garage, but I have this bag here, which is where we put all our dirty laundry in. So it just kind of keeps it out the way from the rest of the van.
Underneath the double seat here, we've got our boiler system. So we've currently got a Truma 60E model installed, which is a diesel and electric. This runs hot water to the back shower, the front shower, the tap in the kitchen, and also provides heating throughout the van as well. The Truma 60 is a new addition to the van. We previously had the Truma 4E model, which is LPG and electric. That meant that we could use LPG when off grid from the 25-litre underslung tank, and then electric when we're on hookup at someone's house or at a campsite. The reason we've just swapped this out is we found that we were using a lot of gas in winter, and in the more remote locations we're finding it difficult to top up. we're hoping that the diesel is going to be far more flexible for us and for the type of travel that we like to do.
So in terms of seating in the van as well, we have these two panels of wood here. We put them in this middle section, which then makes this sort of an L-shaped sofa area. Could be used as a single bed as well. In our case, as I said, Jeannie sleeps in our bed, but Rory sleeps down here. So we make this up every single night, so she's got lots of space to sleep and stretch out.
Underneath the bed is where we house all of our electrical components. We chose to have it under the bed because it's a really good central location in terms of weight distribution, but it also means everything's really easy to access and it's very serviceable. Because we both live, travel and work on the road full time, the electronics was something that was really important to us. So we wanted to be able to use anything that we might be using at home, but also in the van. So we've got a 360 amp hour lithium setup paired with a 3000 watt inverter that allows us to use things like hair dryers, induction hot plates, laptops, phones, blenders, whatever we throw at it, it can handle. We decided to use Victron for all of our smart controllers, mainly because of the quality, the reputation behind them, but also because it gives you Bluetooth access to all of your system. So you can check things like solar yields and capacities all from your phone. We use the Smart Solar Charge Controller that handles all the load from our 540 watts of solar that's on the roof. We've also got the Orion panel, which is a DC-DC charger, and that means that we generate energy off the alternator whilst we're driving. The Blue Smart charger also controls the power, whether it's coming in from mains or the batteries. Towards the back of the electronics cabinet, we've got all of our fuses. So this is where we can monitor the 12-volt system and swap fuses out if they need replacing. On the right of the cabinet is our motorhome Wi-Fi setup. This gives us a permanent Wi-Fi solution for the van, which we connect our laptops, iPad and security systems to.
This is our bed area. We have quite a big bed. It's roughly about the width of a king, but just slightly shorter. It's because it's me, Marcus and Jeannie that sleeps in the bed. During the day we have it set up like this. It's just so that we've got more light from both the windows and it's not blocking anything. We do actually sleep widthways though. We're both quite tall, so one way that we wanted to have a little bit more legroom and space is that on both sides we have this recess area. It just means that we've got a bit more legroom and space to stretch out. So in terms of storage, as well as our wardrobe space, we both have these two big cupboards. One's for Marcus and one's for me, and it's where we keep all our clothes. Some other features of the bedroom area is we've got this bracket that we put in here where we can fix the iPad. Just means we can sit in bed and watch TV at night. We also have charging points on both sides here. It means that we can charge our phones and things overnight. This side as well also has a light switch to control the main lights. And then we also have these two little reading lights as well. So it means if we're in bed at night and we just don't want the main lights on, that just gives a little extra light. In terms of other lighting as well, we've got LED lights under these two cupboards. They're actually under every single cupboard on this side, which is just really useful to have, particularly in the kitchen as well, because it means when cooking and things, you've just got a bit more light. Just above my head here, we have a little bracket. It's where we put the projector. We then have two magnets further down that we attach the projector screen to. It just means that if we want to watch something not on the iPad, if we're having a movie night or something, we can just have a nice big screen to watch it.
At the back of the van, we've got a large garage area underneath our fixed bed. One of the main considerations for us choosing this layout was to give us plenty of storage for all the hobbies and activities that we do on the road. So under here we've got a full kite surfing quiver, a paraglider, a two-man kayak, we've got an inflatable SUP, all of our hiking gear. So yeah, we've got plenty of things to do whilst we're out and about. One of the other really nice features we've got on the back of the van is an outdoor shower. This is really good for when you're being in the sea or in the lakes, but also hosing off muddy dogs. So this just does a quick connect. And then it's on a trigger head, and we've got hot and cold on this. Throughout the top part and the sides of the garage, we've also got this track system in place. This is a really nice modular system. Allows you to pull it in and out easier and also keep it secure whilst driving. On the outside driver's side of the van, we've got our water in and out, and also the exhaust system for our Truma combi boiler. We've got 80 litres of fresh water in an insulated tank underneath the van, and we've also got a 60 litre wastewater tank. At the back of the van above the bed, we've got these domestic sights windows. We've got these on both sides. They're a camper van style window, so they've got slightly better thermal properties than the glass ones, so you get a lot less condensation. But also they're a really good size for the dogs to poke their heads in and out of during the day. They've also got integrated fly screens and shades as well, which is really good at night. Right here by the driver's door, we've got the fill point for our 25-litre LPG tank. At the moment, that's purely being used for cooking, so hopefully we'll just be filling up every 2 to 3 months. That just screws off, and then you can also get different adapters for using these throughout Europe in different countries as well. Another alteration we did to the outside of the vehicle was swapping out the stock wheels and tyres for these BF Goodrich KO2s. They're a 16-inch wheel and tyre combo, and they're also rated for mud and snow. We've done approximately 12,000 miles on these so far, and we've had absolutely no problems with them at all. At the back of the van on the passenger side, we've just got the fill points here. We've got an external gas point which we can use for an outdoor barbecue, and we've also got the inlet for our electrical hookup. Installed on the top of our roof, we've got a 5G antenna which is for our Wi-Fi setup. That's provided by Motorhome Wi-Fi. One benefit of the L4 van is obviously you get a lot of space on the roof. Because of this, it's enabled us to have 2 max air fans, a separate vent over the shower, the 5G antenna, and also 540 watts of solar.
Yes, that's it. That's our van tour. I hope you enjoyed it. It's just a general overview of the van. There's probably quite a bit of things I imagine we've missed out, isn't there?
Yeah, we've not really done anything like this before, so it's a bit of a learning curve. But yeah, we know that we've not gone into a lot of the specifics, so if there's anything more you want to know, then just drop us a note in the comments or find us over on Instagram.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool, thanks for watching.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.